since lately, Rencon introducing like HoloLens, HTC Vive, and everything like that, and it's just someplace halfway around the world without even taking a step in that country.
Okay, get a little closer to the microphone.
Oh, I know that.
I'm Jennifer. I've also been at Rencon since forever.
Okay, that way you don't have to hold it. Talk into it so they pick up on stuff.
Yeah. So I'm Jennifer. I've also been at Rencon for forever. But I've kind of grown up with the whole like incorporating technology into school.
My name is Jess. I help do VR. I've kind of been setting up a VR arcade up the street called Virtual Sports over in Tukwila, and I've kind of been part of developing that and kind of bringing VR to like the public and creating a positive VR experience there.
Michelle Zimmerman, and one of the things that I'm really interested in seeing how young people today can bring some of these technologies into their future careers. We know that things like artificial intelligence are already all around us, things like Alexa, things like Pandora, where those machines are learning things that you're interested in and then adapting to them. What can we do to change school so that you're being able to utilize all those different concepts and then prepare for future careers that are already using those? We know that places like Volvo and Packard are already using virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality like the HoloLens. Engineers are using it, and with NASA, we know artists are using it. Jennifer was noticing some ones that were even with makeup. Do you want to mention that?
There are a couple of skincare companies in Asian countries that are using VR to educate customers on how to take care of their skin and what ingredients go into their products. So even in skincare, you can find this
I've heard of companies using the HoloLens to allow you to bring furniture into your own living room and project it so you can almost home design your home before you even purchase the furniture. You can try different things like that. Something really exciting for like both customers and just everyday like people being able to like almost like craft your house before you craft your house. That's really exciting. Just that, and as well as like bringing people together and creating like entertainment experiences that people can play together and be like outside and just playing different games that wouldn't be possible without that. And like bringing education there and creating educational experiences. Like imagine if, like walking around your city and being able to see what it looks like before like, all the skyscrapers went up, and being able to just switch in between views. Like, so much potential there. So.
We want to jump right in and give you a chance to experience HoloLens. If you haven't had a chance to try it yet, it's here for you to try. So as we'll continue to talk and discuss some of these ideas, one at a time you'll get a chance to jump right in and try this. And then we'd like some of your feedback on what you think about it, what you imagine, what you think could be possible. So I'm also interested, anyone in the audience right now that has had experience in researching it or looking up something with mixed reality, virtual reality, or augmented reality, we would like to hear from you and then have this be more of a dialogue instead of us just talking to you. Any background experience in looking it up, or is this new to people?
Yeah, so I'm a speech therapist, and I work with people who have like brain injuries, and I've been hearing about like using VR as like a rehab tool, and I mean I just recently learned about it, so if you guys have any info on that, that'd be awesome.
I think I actually met, there's a meetup group in Seattle, and I met two people that are working on kind of mental health, kind of education, and are working with virtual reality software. I'm not super familiar, but I know that there is a team very dedicated to kind of working on things like that. So being a part of the community can definitely help you that. I know they're actually doing a hackathon where everyone's getting together and they're kind of creating new kind kind of VR experiences throughout the weekend. If you're not familiar with a hackathon, it's a common thing for computer scientists to do is get together for a weekend and try to brainstorm ideas, gather up into teams and try to kind of create those ideas. And I think a lot of both educational and medicinal ideas for solutions to these problems kind of come about through these hackathons. And so there's a really vibrant VR development community in Seattle. And definitely it's open to everyone, people who have an idea. You don't have to have a computer science background. You can just have like an idea of a solution and how that would work. So if you have any ideas for kind of solutions to some of those problems, you can definitely show up to one of those hackathons and share and kind of bring people together and make that happen. So, yeah.
So, for some of you who don't know, there are different types of virtual reality. There's virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Virtual reality is when you're actually fully immersed. So with the HTC Vive, you really can't see anything out of your surroundings except for that blue fence, which hopefully you don't run into. And then for augmented reality, you can even see it as much of like through your own phone, like with Snapchat and Pokemon Go and the HoloLens. And then mixed reality is oh wait, my bad. Mixed reality is a HoloLens where it's actually showing popping up where sometimes you can't even know if that person you're talking to is actually real or not. So
I would say the biggest difference between augmented and mixed reality is the way you interact with it and the way it interacts with your environment. So if you use Snapchat, it sets up your perspective so you can put whatever you're looking at into the room, but mixed reality will scan the room and then have you interact with your environment instead of you interacting with a screen.
And then one of the other things that makes mixed reality and virtual reality substantially different, you can't see your hands or your feet when you're in virtual reality. You can only see the environment around you, so the first time it can feel a little bit disorienting. But when you're in something like HoloLens, you can see your surroundings, you can see your hands and your feet. The view is smaller in HoloLens at this point because it's creating a hologram out in front of you. In virtual reality, the view is all around you. So at first you start to think, how can I find something seeming immersive with just a really small window view that you're looking into? But you start to realize that you can see the environment, but you're focused in that specific window. And as you look at that window, one of the first questions my brother asked me when I tried it the first time, is it opaque or is it transparent? And I didn't think about that question when I was first trying it. I just know that I was focusing on what I was looking at, and I started to not pay attention to the surroundings around me. And so I thought about it for a couple days, and I said the best description I can give is when you're looking through a window on a really sunny day, you can see your reflection, so it looks opaque, but if you really focus to look through it, you can see what's behind. So it gives somewhat of that feeling of, it gives the appearance of being opaque, but it's not entirely, because if you really look through in certain scenes, you can see something behind it. But I noticed as people have been trying mixed reality, both in the classroom and as I've been taking it around to conferences across the United States, people do become immersed in it very quickly depending on the type of environment they're in. There are different types of setups. So some of them are floating holograms that are right in front of you and you're only seeing a single object. Others are environments. For example, the Holo Tour allows you to see what it's like if you're in Rome. And when you're there, it's a 3D camera that you're looking at first that's recorded the surroundings, so it looks like people in modern day who are walking by you. Some of them will stop and look back at you, and it gives you the feeling that you're actually standing in the piazza in Rome. But the benefit of it is you can see that it'll drop down the cobblestones, so you can see the layers of depth in the city. And then you can also imagine what it would have looked like in the past. Instead of only seeing the ruins, they're able to overlay some of those patterns and designs, so you can imagine what it would have looked like in person. When you look at something like space or the universe, to be able to see the elliptical orbit that planets take is substantially different than when you're looking at it in a textbook in a flat image. So those pieces have different use case scenarios. My brother's a pilot, and he said for him, virtual reality makes more sense. He needs the immersive surroundings to imagine he's in a cockpit of an airplane. He needs to have everything coming at him in all different directions. But for different use cases, here's an example with maintenance or engineering. They need to have a specific view that they can overlay on top of the real world. In PACCAR, engineers are working on trucks right now, and they're saying it's helping their managers get a better idea of some of the innovations they're doing instead of only looking at the truck design and trying to hear or look at sketches of what this product may look like. It's helping the communication in a visual way by overlaying new components on top of that truck. So in that use case, it's essential that they do see the environment around them and they can still communicate with the other people in the room.
Does anyone have any questions or any insights or ideas or brainstorming?
So one of the things that we
Is that a question?
I'm sorry.
More of a yesterday, NASA totally is backing up. They're looking at middle school children as the future astronauts, scientists, and we are not an industrial revolution anymore. We are a technical, and this is definitely going to be our future. So I love what you're teaching, and I think that for our age, we need to be encouraging, and I love that you do that. Youth in middle school and kindergartners to be thinking about this for the first graders to look at what's coming. And I had a comment about that but anyway, NASA totally is back home. The other thing is other countries are doing this. They're coming here, getting the education and going back home. But to work for NASA, you must be a U.S. citizen. So they're actively recruiting out of the middle schools.
That's great.
Jen? Who else wants to come and give it a shot?
So yeah, we're going to be demoing the HoloLens. Definitely come check it out. Something kind of interesting about VR is a lot of people want to experience it together. At Virtual Sports, we have kind of multiplayer setup. So we have 12 VR headsets. Something recently we've been playing with is a program called Pluto, and it's a kind of Skype chatting service. So what it allows you to do is chat face-to-face with someone, where you can see, because we use the HTC Vive, which has 2 controllers and a headset. We're actually demoing that upstairs if you'd like to try it. But Pluto uses the controllers as